Steam fogged up the kitchen windows as the scent of roasted turkey, cinnamon, and butter filled the house. Outside, laughter echoed from the living room, cousins battling over board games, uncles glued to football, wine glasses clinking. But in the kitchen, Margaret stood alone, sweat collecting at her temples, her hands aching from hours of chopping, stirring, lifting. She had been up since dawn, yet nobody noticed. Nobody ever noticed. For 27 years, Margaret had been the silent conductor of Thanksgiving. Her family arrived hungry and left happy, giving thanks over meals they believed appeared by magic. They never saw the 4 a.m. alarms, the lists scrawled in the margins of old calendars, the quiet tears she shed while peeling endless potatoes. To them, Margaret was background noisy, reliable, invisible, expected. But this year, something in her chest had begun to ache differently. Her children were grown now, 2 daughters and a son. They had flown in from college and new jobs, rushing through the door with hugs for their father, chatter for one another, but only a passing, distracted thanks, Mom, before disappearing into the living room. Her husband, Daniel, kissed her cheek quickly, then joined the others with his beer. Margaret tightened her apron and swallowed down a familiar burn of invisibility. She told herself, as always, that love meant service, that family traditions were worth the exhaustion, that her role was noble, even if unspoken. But deep inside, a voice whispered, "When will someone see you?" By noon, the kitchen was chaos, bowls piled high, gravy bubbling, oven timers screaming. Margaret wiped her forehead with her sleeve and forced a smile when her sister-in-law, Carol, breezed in. "Oh, Margie, you're a saint. I don't know how you do this every year," Carol said lightly, grabbing a roll from the counter without asking. "Anyway, we'll be in the den if you need us." Margaret's smile faltered. "If I need you?" she thought. "I always need help, I just never ask." When the turkey was finally ready, Margaret carried it to the dining room. Applause broke out, phones lifted to snap photos. "Another masterpiece from Mom," her eldest daughter announced, not looking at her, but at the golden brown bird glistening on the platter. Margaret lowered the turkey to the table. No one offered to take it from her. Her back screamed as she set it down. "Carve it, Dad!" one of the kids shouted, and Daniel proudly picked up the knife as if he'd cooked the whole thing himself. Margaret slid back into her chair, a ghost at her own feast. Halfway through dinner, as plates clattered and stories spilled, Margaret stared at her hands. They were swollen, red from scrubbing pots, nails broken from kneading dough. These hands had built every Thanksgiving for nearly 3 decades, and still, she was just a broken bar there. Her youngest daughter asked, "Mom, can you pass the cranberry sauce?" Something snapped. It was so small, so quiet, yet it echoed in her chest like thunder. Margaret looked at her daughter, then at the bowl in front of her, and for the first time in her life, she said the words she'd never dared to speak at this table. "Number." The table went silent. "Forks Frau's." Her husband glanced at her, startled, as though she'd broken an unspoken law. "What do you mean, no?" her son asked, half laughing, thinking it was a joke. Margaret's voice trembled but grew steadier with each word. "I mean, I'm tired. I've been cooking and cleaning since 5 this morning. Every year, I miss the laughter, the stories, the games, because I'm stuck in the kitchen, and I'm done being invisible in my own family. So number. I'm not passing the cranberry sauce, someone else can." For a long moment, no one moved. Heat crept up Margaret's neck, shame threatening to crush her. But then, something unexpected happened. Her eldest daughter put down her fork. "Mom," she said softly, "we never realized it a broken bar. We just assumed you loved it." Margaret's eyes filled with tears. "I do love it, but loving something doesn't mean I should be the only one carrying it. I want to sit here, I want to laugh with you, I want to be part of this family, not just serve it." Silence settled again, but this time it was thoughtful, heavy. Daniel cleared his throat, guilt flashing across his face. "You're right," he admitted, "we've taken you for granted, Margie, every single year." "I'm sorry." The kid shifted uncomfortably, then one by one, stood up. Her son grabbed the serving bowl. "I'll get the cranberry sauce." Her youngest daughter started stacking plates. Carol, looking sheepish, finally muttered, "Here, let me help with dessert." And for the first time in decades, Margaret leaned back in her chair, her plate still full, her heart trembling with something that felt like freedom. The night unfolded differently. The family moved as a team, bustling in the kitchen together, voices raised in playful arguments about recipes, laughter spilling over spilled gravy. Margaret didn't move from her chair until her eldest daughter pulled her up gently. "Come on, Mom, it's time you joined us. We want you at the table, not just your food." Margaret laughed through her tears as she sank onto the couch with her children, watching the fire crackle, the sounds of Thanksgiving now wrapping around her like a long-lost blanket. That one word "no" didn't break her family, it saved it, because for the first time, they saw her not just as the invisible chef, the quiet giver, the background presence who kept everything running. They saw her as a woman, as a mother who deserved rest, joy, and a seat at the table she had built with her own hands. And Margaret realized something too. Sometimes love means saying yes, but sometimes the greatest act of love, both for yourself and for those you care about, is having the courage to say no. Dionysus message for the audience: don't wait decades to be seen. Your voice matters, your needs matter, and it's okay to step out of the shadows you've built for yourself. Boundaries don't destroy love, they strengthen it.